Hello, warriors. We are back for our last day at the farm. We are going to draw, I know you guys know what this animal is. We're going to draw a sleepy little barn cat. Farms always have cats, right? Because what are cats great at? They are great at catching mice. And there's always mice at farms. So we are going to draw our barn cat today to finish off our farm unit. So we are going to go ahead. I definitely suggest you have your paper sideways, guys. Not up and down tall, but he's kind of laid out, so I want your paper sideways. And we are going to start with his little kitty cat nose. Now, because he's sleeping, his head is tilted just a little bit. So if your head looks tilted, great. If your head is more up and down tall, you know, it'll just look like he's sleeping like this instead of like this. It's really up to you how you want to do it. So I'm going to try to make my head a little tilted, but if yours is not, it's no big deal. We're going to start, as we always do, with its nose. And I'm just going to make this little curve line for my kitty cat's nose. Now, of course, if you make a curve line this big, he might not fit. So really think about it, friends, and decide how big you want your curve line. And I'm just going to start with sort of a slanted curve line for the top of my cat's nose. And then it's going to curve down, and it's going to come back up and touch for our kitty cat's nose. Then we're going to draw that little line right here, right below the middle of the nose, a little short straight line. So I'm going to draw a little short straight line. And then for his mouth, we're going to go ahead and make a curve line out on one side, a curve line out on the other side. And then he's sleeping, of course, so we're just going to make curve lines for his closed eyeballs. So we're going to look at the corner of the nose, and I'm going to come up just a little ways. Find the corner, find the edge, and I'm just going to kind of come up just a little ways, and I'm going to make a curve line for his closed eye. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to look at the corner, I'm going to come up just a little ways, and I'm going to make another curve line for that closed eye. And then let's go ahead and make the cat's ears. So as you guys know, cats have ears that stick up on top of their head. They don't have droopy ears like some dogs do. They have ears that stick up. So we're going to go ahead and look at the eye, and I'm going to come up a ways. Look at the eye and come up, and I'm going to make a curve line for his ear. Curve line up, back down. Look how it's not touching anything, friends. See how it's kind of floating right now? That's okay. We don't want it to touch anything. It should not be touching the eye. We're going to jump and make it curve up. Then same thing, I'm going to look at the eye, and I'm going to jump, and I'm going to make the other ear. Look at this eye. I'm going to jump, make a curve line, and curve line down. See how it's not touching anything? We can even make double on the inside. I'm going to double those lines to show the inside of his ears. Now, we are going to go ahead and draw the curve line for the top of his head. So in between the ears, I'm going to make a curve line to show the top of his head. And then we're going to show the side of the face. But first, we're going to show the chin. We're going to make just a little curve line right here for the chin. It's not very far away from the mouth, so don't make a chin way down here. Then he'll look like a witch with a long chin. We want to bring it up close to the mouth, and I'm just going to make a little curve line pretty close to that mouth and stop. Then we're going to make the curve lines for the side of his face. So from the corner of this ear, I'm going to go ahead and make it curve down and touch that chin. From the corner of this ear, we're going to do the same thing, curve it and touch that chin. And then, of course, what are these things called? Whiskers. So you can make some whiskers. You might have room for 2 or 3 whiskers. Maybe you want 4 or 5 whiskers. It's up to you how many whiskers you want to draw. But right next to the nose, I'm just going to draw some whiskers. Let's see, I think I'm going to do 3, but like I said, you might only want a couple or you want more. It's up to you. Now, we are going to go ahead and start with his back. He's all curled up. I found these cute pictures of sleeping kitty cats, and he's got sort of a curve to his back as he sleeps. So I want you to take your finger, and we're just going to trace how big you want the body to be. So if I make a curve line this big, he's going to have a big old head and a tiny little body. So I want to trace out what I want it to look like, and I'm going to do that first with my finger. So starting kind of by his ear, I've traced it out. I know how big I want, and I'm just going to make a curve line for his back. So I made this curved line for his back. Now, see how his back just kind of turns into his tail. And his tail's all curved, look. They're all curled up with their tail all curved around the body. And see how the tail just goes right up towards the face on these pictures? So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna turn this curved line right into a tail, and it's gonna go towards the face. We're not going to touch the face. We're gonna curve it towards the face. So watch, I'm gonna bring it down, and it's just gonna curve, and it's gonna stop. On the end of our tail, I'm gonna make a little curved line up towards the face. Watch. Going up, don't go down. Going up, I'm gonna make a curved line, and it's gonna stop. See how it's going towards the face. Then I'm gonna double this bottom line. I'm just gonna follow this bottom line, follow what I have, and I'm gonna stop. See how I stopped before I started going up too far? I'm just gonna stop. You can come up just a little bit, but we're not gonna follow it all the way around, okay? This is just the tail, and then this is his body. Now, you can see, because he's all curled up, you could probably see a curved line for his back leg. That's what this curved line is. So from the tail, I'm gonna come over just a little bit, and I'm just gonna make a curved line. That shows the back leg. And then you can barely see a little bit of his paw. He's like resting his head on his paw, and you can just barely see a little bit of his paw. So in between his face and his tail, I'm gonna go ahead and make a curved line that comes forward for his paw. And then it's gonna come back and touch the tail. And you can even see those little divots on the end of his paw. You might be able to see one or two, but just on the very end, little tiny curved lines. Little tiny curved lines. Now, a lot of times cats have patterns, right? So, warriors, a realistic pattern would be more like stripes. Do you think that a realistic, something that you'd see on a real life cat, would this be a realistic pattern like this? No. Would this be a realistic pattern like this? No. You can add those patterns if you want. It's just not going to look like a real cat. It'll look like an abstract cat. If you want an abstract cat, go for it. But if you want a real cat, let me show you how. They will have stripes on their face and on their back. So in both of these kitty cat pictures that I found, they both have stripes. So on the top of his head, we're going to go ahead and just make a curved line that comes down, back up and touch, almost like a tiger stripe, right? Down and back up. You can add a few on the forehead. You could add a few little skinny stripes on his face, coming off the side, like that. On his back, you could add stripes, same thing. You could add, watch, I could add some thinner stripes. I could make some thicker and bigger. If you make them not exactly perfect, it might actually look more realistic. Because see how they're not exactly perfect because it's fur and it's fuzzy? It'll look even more realistic. I could definitely add some stripes coming on his tail. That would be very realistic. So take your time and add some stripes. And then we need to make the floor for him to sleep on, right? So just like we've been practicing, we're gonna do that line, and we're not gonna start it underneath right here because then it'll look like he's kind of floating, and he's not floating. He's nice and cozy on the floor. So come up a little ways, and then I want you to practice. I've seen some people just make a little short line. The stopping and jumping over, fantastic. But it needs to go all the way from one side to the other, okay? So all the way off my paper is where I'm gonna start. And I'm gonna make that line all the way across. I'm gonna stop, jump over. You guys are really, especially my kindergartners who've never done this before, you guys have really gotten the hang of this. So I stopped and jumped over all the way off my paper. Okay, I didn't stop it until I got to the end. And then for the background, since we're on the farm, he's probably in the barn sleeping. And barns are made up of big wooden planks. So there's almost like stripes where they put the pieces of wood together. So I want you to practice nice and slow from the floor up to the tip top of your paper. I'm gonna make stripes. And look, I'm taking my time. I want you to practice. Maybe really try to get them about the same width apart. You can even take your fingers. See how I did that? And I sort of measured with my fingers. Am I using a ruler? No. Is it perfect? No. Don't worry about that. But my goal is for you to try and get them about even. And is Mrs. Adams perfect? No, of course not. Just kind of guess. So we've got the barn, and of course, when you're coloring, if you color that red, people will know that it's a barn. If you want a pink and purple polka dot barn, you can have it. But if you make it red, they'll have more of an idea that this is a barn cat. Another way that it's gonna look like a barn cat, maybe he's sleeping on some hay. That's what I did on my coloring in. I made just kind of some hay underneath his body, like he found a nice warm cozy spot of hay to sleep on. So you can do that, friends, by taking your time with some yellow, even maybe a little bit of brown or gray. And I just kind of came out from underneath his body. I'm not scribble scrabbling like this. Hay isn't scribble scrabbles, but I just really took my time and just made some straight lines, kind of coming out like this. And then you can even add a few little pieces of brownish where the hay is real dry. Just kind of crisscross them here and there. And even some gray if you wanted to. And really fill in. This will take some time. But sometimes doing art takes some time. And just take your time and add like a little batch of hay. You, of course, don't have to make hay. I just thought that looked kind of cozy for my kitty cat. But it's up to you. And remember, you've taken your time adding stripes by drawing. I want you to take your time and add stripes by coloring in too. So, some realistic colors. You might see some yellow or some orange on cats, guys. That's not abstract. You would see some yellow or some orange. You, of course, could see brown or gray or black or white. But I want you to take your time and color your stripes a different color than the fur around it. So if I want brown stripes, I'm going to take my time. You guys will do much better coloring than Miss Adams. I'm scribble scrabbling right now. But I want you to take your time, do the stripes a color, then do the fur around the stripes a different color. That way it really stands out and we can see your awesome work. So friends, I cannot wait to see your artwork. Remember to take a picture and put it on Seesaw so Miss Adams can see it. Don't just click done. I want to see your artwork. If you need your adult to help you, that is great. And remember, I am on Google Meets every day. If you want to get on Google Meet and you type in or have your adult, this is our Google Meet code, Whoa Specials. Every day, Monday through Friday from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning is Miss Adams' time with our specials Google Meet. You can join in if you have a question, if you weren't sure how to draw the hay, or if you weren't sure which color the barn was, you couldn't remember, and you want to talk to me, great. If you want to just jump on and say hi, I would love to see your sweet face. So feel free to do that any day, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 9:30, okay? I love you, warriors. I hope you're well. I cannot wait to see your cute kitty cats. I cannot wait to see them. And I will see you next week. We're going to start something new. So, hope you guys are well. Love you all. Bye.